Audio-based content.
Audio-based content.
An improv comedy podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Audio-Based Content, an improv comedy podcast. I'm your host, Aarons V. Felder. On this show, people come over and do long-form improv scenes with me. We base our scenes on a chosen audio format. On today's episode, Allie Baker and Nelson Graham join me for some couples therapy.
Okay, guys. Cheryl, John, it's been a couple weeks since I've seen you guys. And I know you just got back from your separate vacations, okay? And, I know that, John, you were pretty hesitant to take separate vacations from Cheryl. But, we talked about it last session. And I just, we're here to check in this week and see how your guys' vacations were.
Yeah, well, I was hesitant. I'll be honest, I had a lot of fear going out into the woods alone. Normally I've got Cheryl and I've got my dog Duke.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated just your recommendations
Good.
for
Good.
getting out there on your own. And I have to say, while it's, I don't know if I'll do it again. I think it was really good for me as a person. Was confronted with some real trials, and I don't know if I would have learned as much had I had Cheryl and Duke there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Now, Cheryl, I know you were very excited to take a vacation away, separately from your husband, John, even though you love each other very much. How do you feel hearing John now after the vacation? He had such a successful journey, it seems.
I think that it's great that John had such a great time. He learned. I think it's interesting that John has no interest in doing this again, because I, for one, plan on so many vacations by myself after this.
And how was your vacation?
Okay, well,
to check in on you.
Oh, thank you. The Great Smoky Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, they are beautiful this time of year.
Ooh.
Just the trees, the wind, the mountains. It's really breathtaking.
John, you look like you have something to say.
Well, I too was in the Great Smoky Mountains. I didn't know that we were going to be in the same place. It makes me feel kind of weird that, even though we were apart, we were kind of in the same place.
You were still near.
Yeah, it also sounds though like my experience was very different than yours. I did not find it very beautiful or,
No?
No, I had a battle with
A battle.
a horde of Granddaddy Longlegs.
A horde?
I think that's
How many Granddaddy Longlegs make up a horde?
Thousands. I don't know.
Thousands?
It was so frightening. They were moving all as one unit. They were like
How do you
climbing on
know
top
it
of
was
each other.
thousands and not just one giant spider?
Well, because there was a lot of small spiders, and every now and then they'd break away, and I would light part of them
light
on
it.
fire.
Oh my God, you were lighting spiders
Well,
on fire?
they were chasing after me, and
I love spiders. I love spiders.
not this. You've never
Cheryl,
seen.
you look disturbed by this story.
That's like exactly the things I needed to vacation from. This violence towards all these creatures.
Now, John.
I'm not. I wouldn't have been violent had it just been one. I think I get misconstrued as this violent person, but
John,
it's a self-defense thing. I mean,
John,
gosh.
John.
Yeah.
Did you seek out these spiders?
Did I seek them out?
Did you seek out the spiders?
In the sense that I decided to go into the woods for my own solo vacation. I sought out the experience of nature, but I didn't seek out these spiders.
Were you seeking out some sort of predatory force in which you would need to defend yourself, John?
I mean, that's what I felt like nature was. That's why I chose to go out into nature, is because, stuff is raw out there, and you never know what you're gonna get. And I went prepared to defend myself, but I wasn't looking for a fight or anything. If that's what you're suggesting.
I'm sure you were so prepared and brought all your big guns out there.
Oh,
just
did you-
waiting.
I
Did you
didn't
bring
take.
your guns?
I didn't take guns. I did take a flamethrower. I did take.
You took a flamethrower,
I
but,
did take a crossbow. I did.
but you were scared of a swarm of spiders with a flamethrower?
Have you
Into
seen
the woods?
Have you seen a swarm of spiders? Just the sight of it is frightening. I didn't think I was going to be overtaken.
I sleep in a swarm of spiders every night. In a big tank.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it's not for you to judge. It's my life.
Well, but I can judge things. That's my life.
John and Cheryl, do you remember 2 years ago when you still had a pet turtle? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And John,
Terrence.
yes, Terrence the turtle. You kept thinking that when you were feeding him, he was trying to bite you. Do you remember this?
Have you fed a turtle before?
Yes,
Have you?
of course.
Okay, but have you fed a turtle when it's hungry?
Only.
John, that's when you feed turtles.
That's when you feed anything.
Okay, have you seen its mouth?
Yes, it's pointy.
Yeah, and it was coming at me.
It's coming at you, but
That's why I had to get a crossbow. Cheryl, I love Terrence too, but we didn't train him properly. We didn't take him through the full 6-week course. He could have been violent.
John,
He could have been violent.
John, do you remember what happened with your neighbor's dog?
Oh,
Cheryl, you remember.
Look, if you're trying to paint me as a dog murderer, I love Duke. I love my dog.
Yes, your dog.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know Buster. You knew Buster, Cheryl. You can speak to this.
Buster he was a nice boy. He was a nice boy. Him and Duke, they got into little fights. Not as big as you would make them out to be, John.
Little fights. I know Duke. I know Duke lost an eye. I know.
Yeah,
I
a
know.
little
And
fight
we
doesn't
were all
result.
sad. We were all sad about that. But an eye for a life. John?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Nobody fucks with Duke.
Well, we don't. That's very hostile language. For
What
this
are you?
environment.
Can I not be myself in here?
No.
Isn't
you
that
can-
what this
no,
is?
you can be yourself.
Yeah.
You can be yourself. It's just.
Well, look. Sure. What about when that man who was walking up to our door with that box, and I thought he was gonna attack you with it. Look, I love you. I was gonna defend you.
John, that man, he was a 12-year-old raising money for his basketball team.
You
He
don't
was
know
selling
that.
chocolate bars.
He never. You don't. You didn't see the way he looked at her. Okay.
He actually came to my neighborhood 3 days later. And he knocked on my door. And I answered the door, and there was this boy in casts, with crutches, selling chocolate bars.
Well, I don't think I hurt him that bad. He's probably just looking for some sympathy. He's probably looking to break
John.
into your home.
Oh, John.
You're too trusting of people.
Listen, John, just because my home was burglarized later that evening doesn't mean that he was responsible.
See, ours wasn't,
That's
was it,
paranoia.
Cheryl? Our house wasn't
That's
burglarized.
paranoia.
No,
Oh,
it wasn't.
So, who's the smart one now? Who's still got all their jewelry?
John.
Yeah, exactly.
John.
Me.
Very defensive.
Well, hey, I'm alive. I don't sleep with a bed of spiders.
Okay,
I don't let strangers up to my door.
You don't let strangers up to your door?
No.
If I may say so, he doesn't let anyone up to his door.
Except for Duke and Cheryl.
What about
Well, and my aunt and uncle, they live down the street, but that's it.
Well, that one time when your uncle came by at nighttime, that was ugly.
Well, yeah, it was Halloween, and he was dressed in. He was
He had
dressed as.
the Jason mask on, yes,
Yeah.
but it was funny. It was a
It
joke.
was Halloween. It's appropriate.
Well,
It's appropriate.
that's why I
on
turn off my
Halloween.
front porch light. I don't want people coming up.
You don't want.
He knew it. He knew what he was getting into. And now, I mean, now
Now-
that's.
Him and Duke both have lost eyes.
I know. And I feel bad, but look, you get what you ask for, and he was asking for it. He knows. He knows.
I think maybe we're spending a lot of time focusing on John.
Yeah.
And
I think it's
and
great.
It's not. Well, I think maybe it's not fair. And Cheryl, why don't you tell us a little more about your vacation?
Oh, okay. Well, I rented a very, very lovely hotel room. And it had a balcony with a big hot tub on the back, so I could lay in my hot tub.
A private hot tub just for you?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
you sure know how to treat yourself, Cheryl.
You have to treat yourself.
You do.
Or no one else will treat you.
Well, maybe your husband.
Okay. Duke was there too.
You took Duke with you?
Oh, did Duke get in the hot tub?
Just once. I think it was a little bit too warm for him, and he was trying to drink the water, which is
You let Duke drink the water?
oh, not for long. That's why he got out of the hot tub.
Is he okay?
Yes,
All right. Well,
it's fine.
I trust you, Cheryl.
John, I trust you.
I like to know these things. I thought Duke was at home.
Well, John, we weren't going to leave Duke all alone, and it was my private vacation. I didn't feel the need to tell you every part of it. That was the point that we were going into.
Oh,
To be separate.
okay. Well, all right, continue.
Well, I bought a whole lot of blackberry mountain wine, and I drank a bottle every single night, just to myself.
And what did you do during the days?
Oh, I slept it off.
Oh. Yeah. So,
Sounds like our experiences were real different.
did you leave the room at all?
There was a hot tub on the balcony.
Well, yes, but that's still part of the room.
Well, then no, I stayed in the room.
See, she's smart. You don't know what's outside that room.
No, but you said you grew so much on your adventure.
Right. But I was out in nature. I wasn't around other people. If you're in a hotel, there's a lot of people you don't know staying there.
Were there people? Did you talk to any people
Oh,
that
yes.
were staying in the hotel?
Oh, yes. The balcony next to mine, there was a lovely group of college students.
Oh.
And I invited them over a couple times.
What?
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. Well, tell me more about that.
Oh, sure. We set up some red Solo cups on the table, and then we just throw a ping pong ball across the table
oh,
into
yes,
water.
I've heard of this game.
I'm not good at it. Let me tell you, I had to drink so much.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. On top of the blackberry wine that you already had? Do you remember everything?
Yeah, I didn't get wasted. Come on, John.
Look, I'm just.
You've already established you
I
trust
trust her.
Cheryl.
I don't
And
know if I
Cheryl
trust
trusts you.
I don't know if I trust those boys.
Oh,
Look,
were
I was
they
a-
boys? Were they college boys?
Yeah, mostly yes.
Oh, okay. Well, most young men in college are focused on their scholarly efforts, not,
Well, not when they're
it's
in
not
the
like
mountains.
the movies.
Not when they're in the
It's not like
mountains.
the movies,
in a
John.
hotel, and their next door neighbor is this beautiful lady in the hot tub with her dog, and she's drinking wine all by herself. And look, I'm just saying, I've learned through hard times that the more people you trust, the more power you give up, and the more danger you can put yourself into.
My, John. John, that's a very cynical attitude.
Well, it's gotten me here. I'm safe, and those spiders are not.
Are you safe? Are you safe? Or are you in danger of your lack of trust?
Well, that's something I gotta think about.
Because the way it sounds to me, Cheryl's sitting here, Cheryl's safe. Cheryl let those boys in. She let those young, virile, muscular, ripe young men in. She
enough
let
with the
them in,
adjectives.
and she is safe. She is safe right now.
Well, thank God that you are safe, because it's only a matter of time before those boys find us and they pillage our house.
Pillage your
John.
house.
I'm just saying, I've seen it. I mean, look at what happened to you after you let that boy up to your front porch.
I don't think it was him who robbed my house.
Just a coincidence.
I'm not so cynical. Well, no, I gave a valet driver my house keys when I went out for lunch. Could have been him.
Not smart.
I left my door unlocked and wide open when I went to the grocery store.
See, we live on two opposite ends of this spectrum.
I
How many
left-
guns do you own?
Oh, I own 0 guns.
Crossbows.
I do own a pink plastic gun that the artist Francois Boutoulare painted, and I have that up. It's commemorating when his wife died of breast cancer. And I have that up above my fireplace. And right in the window, I keep all my diamonds and jewelry collection for everyone to see.
Well, it lets the sunshine kind of
It's
sparkle
right, it
off
sparkles in the window, and then when I'm driving home, no matter how drunk I am, I go, "That's my house, the reflective one."
Well, Cheryl, at least we're learning something today. What not to do with our house. That's all I'm saying.
No, but you know what? You know what, John? I'm sitting here right now. I'm safe. The only person here who doesn't seem safe, who doesn't seem to feel safe, is you, John.
Oh, I feel safe right now. I've got 2 guns on me and 1 knife.
That's very defensive. If
Well,
you
I'm
feel
safe.
defensive, you
You are
don't
not
feel
safe.
safe.
You are the only person in this room without a gun. I know Cheryl's packing.
I do. Mine's also pink, but it's real.
Oh,
So guess who's not safe now?
okay. You're both violating my office policy by bringing firearms.
Well, that's
into
John
the
says that
office.
that's just a suggestion.
No.
so-
It's Texas. It's Texas.
No,
I mean,
but I'm still. This is my property.
well, agree to disagree.
This is a lot of. This is a mental health facility. A lot of disturbed people come through these walls, and it's not safe. It's
Hence the guns.
not. No, it's
That's why we bring them.
the guns. It's not safe. It makes it an unsafe environment.
If you told me I had
See,
to
I
walk
was
into
feeling safe.
a mental institution
I was
without
feeling-
guns,
It's not a mental institution.
We can leave, John.
People don't live here.
if you told me that I was willingly going to walk into a building with people who are seeking help mentally, which I am doing, I will put myself in
yes,
that
you're
camp.
both doing. It's a very
I
healthy
need-
thing to do.
Exactly. But if you told me that I was walking into a building full of people like me and that I couldn't bring a gun,
Now wait a minute. See, this is what I mean. People like you.
people like me,
What is that? What are people like you?
monsters.
You're a monster?
But I know how to cage it.
What does that mean, John?
It means I know what I'm capable of.
John, I don't look at you and see a monster. Cheryl,
Well,
when you
that's-
look at John, do
that's
you
why
see a
you've been
monster?
robbed.
No, John, and I don't like it when you say bad things about yourself. It's so
I don't
negative.
think a monster is a bad thing.
Well, what do you mean by monster then? Because he might mean like a Jim Henson monster, right? Like on Sesame Street, like a
Oh, no.
Grover.
No, I'm talking more like Sully from Monsters Inc., but like before he turns good.
Well, those aren't that bad. Those are pretty adorable monsters.
Well, exactly.
They went to college.
Well, this is before he was converted.
If I were going to say
Wait,
which
before even Monsters University?
Oh, yeah. This is Monsters
But
Inc.
that's
1.
a prequel.
Monsters Inc., the first one that came out.
I know, but the Monsters University is before that.
Oh,
and
you're
he's
right.
pretty nice still.
You're right. I'm just saying, I'm a monster. And
But like the good monsters, or are you that wormy one?
look,
that
I'm just saying
Steve
I can.
Buscemi played? Do you know the one?
Randall. Are you
Randall.
Randall?
Oh, I'm not Randall.
You're not Randall, you're-
I'm Sully.
Oh, well, he's nice.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
He's pretty nice.
He learned how to tame his monsterness.
No, but that's.
He's
I don't
still
think
a
he did.
monster.
I think his nature was good.
Well, you're telling me that he didn't scare anybody any times?
Oh, just because you scare people doesn't mean you're not good, and it doesn't mean
I'm
you're
not
a
saying
monster.
I'm not good. He look at the
Listen,
title of the movie.
listen, my son has a scar down his face, down the middle of his face, and it never quite heals all the way. It's always a little ooey gooey, right? He walks down the street, people scream. People say, monster, monster. He's not a monster. It doesn't
I don't think
matter
he's a monster.
how much people are afraid.
Sounds like he's a wimp. Sounds like he wasn't carrying a
A
gun.
wimp?
Oh, come on, John.
Sounds like he wasn't. He should have been packing. Wouldn't have that scar.
What?
Should have been more of a monster.
Excuse me, but a car fell on him. He was walking under an overpass, and a car went off the side of the
I'm sorry, I
rails, through the
assumed.
rails,
I
and it
assumed.
landed right on his head.
I made a false assumption. That's
What
terrible.
would a gun do?
That's-
Shoot
that's-
the car away as it's hurtling from above?
That was a terrible assumption. I apologize.
It was a terrible assumption. And I'll have you know, he did have a gun on him.
Well, good for him.
And he
Sounds
tried
like a monster.
shooting at the car when it was on its way
Look,
down.
I'm just saying, I think the word monster has gotten a bad rap. I think it's a good thing. I think what it means is you just have to learn how to tame the monster inside of you. Look, you know, I can become a monster in certain areas of our house.
Oh, John, come on.
I gotta let the monster loose somewhere.
He's talking about the bedroom. Just last week.
Oh, okay.
Okay, listen. I was in my room and I was folding the laundry, and then John comes in and he opens the door so fast it falls off the hinges.
Kicked it in with my bare foot.
You kicked the door in?
It's buck naked.
That's my favorite monster, John.
See,
Okay. Well, I guess if we're all agreeing that the term can be used positively.
that's all I'm saying. You just gotta know how to cage it when it's necessary.
Well, see, that's
But there's other monsters
but-
in the world. That's what you gotta be aware of. That's why I'm always
But
bringing
if
a
the
gun.
monster is a good thing, then why does it need to be caged? This is what I don't understand. How can
Hmm.
it both be good and need to be caged?
Well, because it's not good 100% of the time. It's kind of like, you know, like
And when's it
some
not-
drugs are good. Some
Yeah.
I like doing drugs. Yeah,
Like
me-
cocaine. That's
Yeah.
a good
we,
drug.
we like to mix it up in the bedroom, do some drugs, get weird.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was doing drugs all the time, that wouldn't be good. So not everything is good all the time.
Yeah, you don't want John to just pull out the monster here.
Oh, you don't want to see that.
Well, now I'm very curious. Are we talking about something inside of John, or is that a nickname for his male appendage of sorts?
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh my, it's both.
Yes.
So you see your facility, if you will, as an extension of your inner being?
My unit is something that I've become good with. It's kind of the same as I like to release the monster inside of me through the monster outside of me.
And I suppose at those times, Cheryl, it's you that cages the monster.
Yes. I would say I am the monster's cage all the time. I'm the one in the morning that says, John, you have to go out there and you have to be every day, John. But then I'm also the one who says, John, show me that monster and let me put it in the cage.
And she's the only one that's ever been able to tame that monster.
Well, what about your mother, John? Was she able to tame?
Not that
your-
monster, but
Well, of course not the sexual monster, but you made it clear that
yeah,
that's
I
not
mean,
the only
well,
aspect of the monster.
for a while when I was a kid, I had an uncontrollable side to me. And I did have a strong mother figure in my life who definitely taught me when it was appropriate for that monster to be out and when I had to put that monster back in. Call it self-control, and I learned that the hard way, but I learned it. She taught me how to use a rifle, pistol, crossbow, flamethrower, handcuffs, and tie my shoes.
Barbara is a very strong woman. Barbara is so strong, and she raised a great son.
And it
Thanks,
wasn't
babe.
And it wasn't until she went in hospice that you started this tendency of fighting animals, was it?
Yes. I still would like to just say on the record, I think it's been a series of unfortunate events with all of
Like
these.
Lemony Snicket's.
Exactly like Lemony Snicket's. This is the first volume. I hope that we don't see multiple volumes.
Well, in that series, you would see many.
I know. Well, that's
If
what
it's
I'm
like
hoping it's not.
Lemony Snicket's.
That's what I hope that these series of unfortunate events ends soon.
And soon.
Because I don't like hurting animals. But if an animal tries to attack me or my wife or Duke, I will bring the full wrath of the monster inside of me down upon those animals.
Well, for starters, I would suggest that you guys don't get any pets in the near future.
What about Duke?
Well, not any more pets. I feel like even with Duke, it's only a matter of time before John feels threatened and lashes out defensively.
I'd never hurt Duke. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Well, I could, but I wouldn't.
Do you remember a year and a half ago, Cheryl, you were so happy to be a new mother. And John, you kept saying just the way the baby looked at her and the way she looked at the baby. And do you remember, John?
I think about it every day.
Do you?
I do.
And
But
is
I've
it-
learned not to second guess myself. You could really go down a deep spiral of second guessing yourself. If I had regrets about all of the living things that I've killed, I'd be in a dark place.
And Cheryl, do you think John, do you agree, how do you feel about what he just said?
I love my husband. I love my husband. I love you, John.
I love you, Cheryl.
Thank you. I love you too. But no regrets about any living creature? Any?
Look, if I could go back and do it again differently, I probably would. But I can't regret it because I'm here. And every living being that I've killed with my hands or with one of my weapons,
Mm-hmm.
has made me the man that I am today. Has allowed me to garner the monster that you've learned to love, and the monster that's learned to love you.
And John, but what about the graduate student that used to assist me in our sessions? That was, in that last year.
Well, he came in with a tray full of waters. Have you ever seen what someone can do with a tray full of waters?
Yes, they can drown a person.
Yeah,
Of course.
I'm not gonna let that happen to Cheryl
They
or
could
me.
cut a person
Or you,
with
for
a
that
glass
matter.
from
Hey,
the glass.
Have I ever harmed you?
It's true.
Have I ever harmed you?
Have you ever harmed me?
Have I ever harmed you?
You did break my leg one time.
Well, I would say that my club broke your leg.
That's true.
So have I
That's
ever
not
harmed
you.
you? Yeah, right.
That's not you. That's your club.
My club. And I got rid of that club as soon as that happened.
Yeah? Oh, I appreciate that, John.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, people don't break legs, clubs do.
That's what my
That's
mom always
true.
said.
That's true.
That's my mom. Old Barb.
Barbara?
And how's Barb doing? Is there any improvement?
You know, every day's a battle.
Every day is a battle.
Cheryl's been great with her.
Yeah.
It's been really rough. It's been really rough. I look at Barbara and I know no one loves.
Oh, we're out of time. I'm sorry. You guys need to leave.
Oh. Are you?
I need you to leave.
I
We're out of time. Someone else is waiting. Every minute you say, I bill you for a late exit.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Are you sure
John, hand me my purse.
about that?
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
I want my hot pink gun.
What?
Are you?
Now, this is exactly why I don't allow these in here. Okay? I knew if I let people bring guns into the office, it's only a matter of time before someone points one at me.
Look, I feel endangered.
You
right
feel
now.
endangered?
I feel like if we don't finish this talk
Uh-huh.
on a high note, that this monster might not be able to be tamed unless you want to just leave the room for a minute and you let Cheryl
What?
tame the monster.
What?
We could tame it real fast if you just give us a
I
room.
can cage it really quick.
Yeah.
Really quick.
She's good.
And then you'll leave?
And then we'll be out of your hair. That's the kind of climax I'm looking to end on.
In this room?
Yeah, we're gonna need this room. We're gonna need this room.
You want me to leave my own office?
Yeah, go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and ask you to leave. This is over. Our time is up.
I'm going to stop the tape.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to another episode of audio-based content. You can see Allie Baker in Freak Pony, LOL Nashville, and Crash, all at Third Coast Comedy Club. And on July 21st at Third Coast Comedy Club, Allie Baker is a writer, producer, and performer in the sketch comedy show Riley. That's July 21st at Third Coast Comedy Club. You can also see Allie as well as myself in soap opera. And you can see me in the Third Coast Lab. All these shows are at Third Coast Comedy Club in Nashville, Tennessee. June 20th, audio-based content will be doing a live recording at Third Coast Comedy Club with guests Nathan Larison, Mick Corey, Jacob Milstein, and Courtney Newting Farrell. You can find my comics, art, and clothing by visiting my art website. That's aaron-zvi-felder.com. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, rate, and review.